Welcome back to Sacadas Bonitas podcast. You got Danny, Vic, and Letty right here.
What the fuck?
Nah, shout out Brown Bag. Brown Bag. Because, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the different intro today. Because, so Brown Bag is a podcast that we listen to. And the two guys that are on there are named Danny and Vic. And me and my brother right here, Danny and Vic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then Letty.
Yeah, and then the girl's name is Letty. Or Letty or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, her name is Letty. So I was like, oh, Danny, Victor, and
That's
Letty.
funny. That was because he did say he was like, oh, I have a new intro. But I didn't expect that.
That's how you know I don't watch that podcast a lot. But
yeah.
I try to listen to podcasts, but I'm more into like straight music podcasts.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wish I had more time.
Yeah, true. No, but yeah, so I'm right here. So my name is Brujo, Danny, whatever you want to call me. And then I'm here with my two co-hosts.
Erica Tinez.
Filiado.
And they're both my siblings. But so spring is finally here. And it's hella hot already, guys. Like we got a fan in here because it's already hot in here.
Yep.
But how do you guys feel about spring being here finally?
It's cool. I actually like spring. I'm trying to enjoy this because when summertime, it's like obviously hotter in the summer.
Yeah.
So spring is kind of like in between. It's like the median. So it's like the quiet before the storm.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's the weather fluctuates though. It's very bipolar. Like the other day it was cold as hell. It was raining last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And then it's hot as hell today. So it's like, I'm kind of like just appreciating the moment right now. Cause like earlier I was like, damn, it's hot as hell. But I was just thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? It's going to get hotter. Just appreciate this right now. So, I'm glad we're right now in the spring, but it just gets me for thinking like, damn, summer's coming. We better be hot. But I prefer summer though. Like, even though I hate it when it rains and it's gloomy, I just prefer summer. Cause who the fuck don't want to come out to the, blue skies and sun gleaming.
Yeah. Dang, what about you? Summer or winter?
No, me, winter all the way. I want it to be sad. I want it to be raining. I'm just kidding. No, I like spring. Like he said, yeah, because it's the best of both worlds for a little bit.
Yeah.
And waking up and the sun's out at like 7 a.m, it looks nice, you know, and taking a little walk, a little stroll with the kids or something. The weather's perfect right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, right. Yeah, right now I feel like it's about as nice as it's gonna get before it gets hot. Cause man, it gets hot over here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But and we actually talked about that how last year during the summer, man, we'd be melting in here in the studio right here. Oh man. But this year, hopefully, I'm planning on getting an AC installed so that we don't have to worry about it. Right now, we got this little fan over here. We'll probably need 3 fans, man, because it's hot.
Yeah, because the air's only blowing on Danny right now.
Yeah. It's blowing in fresh air through the door because the door's right here on this side.
He's like, I'm feeling cool.
No, it's good because he's the one that sets everything up. So
yeah.
he's the one that was sweating already by the time we walked in here.
True.
Yeah. That's why I got my little toalla.
But you know what? No matter how hot it is, I'll probably still throw on a hoodie.
Yeah.
I think that's just some fat people shit. But
no, because it's
put on a hoodie.
To be real, I think it's more like ghetto people shit.
Okay.
You know, not like that, but like you ever just be driving around on a hot summer day and you see some young person walking around with a hoodie on, hella hot, and you just like, bro, that nigga ghetto as hell. You feel me? Like, feel me? Like, some of my little homies used to be like that. You know, they be hot as hell and they out there rocking with hoodies, and I just be like, bro, like, and then to be real, like, damn, it's kind of sad. But my homie has told me before, he's like, I ain't got no clean shirt, so I had to wear this hoodie. So I was just damn. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Erica got some more hoodies and shirts and just did it. But
for sure, this one's a cropped one, so it's not that hot.
That escalated quickly.
I know. I'm trying not to cry right now. It's been a whole 5 minutes.
Shout out him.
Yeah.
Let's start a donation for a GoFundMe to get my homie some shirts.
Yeah, so you want to get them? They got the 3 Pro Clubs for $20 or something like that.
We have to throw a Scorpion Terror shirt in there too.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's a deal.
Yeah, no, see, because of the brand and the logo of the business, I do love hoodie season because we get to like put on the hoodies to show off the brand and the logo and stuff. So that's and I do prefer more like cold season, but because I just feel like just because it gets so hot here,
Mm-hmm. See, and that's the thing too. Going back to a previous episode that we recorded, people that have like skin conditions, It sucks. I have psoriasis and eczema, so the sun is our worst enemy. So that's another reason why I'd rather it rain than to be hot.
True. What's psoriasis?
It's some of the patches that I get on my back.
Oh. My only skin condition is tattooism. I learned something new today. I didn't know psoriasis.
And he's been my brother for 34 years. So
I mean, I know you had eczema, but I thought you used to watch X-Men a lot. So I used to be like, she's probably an undercover, superhero or a mutant or something. But I didn't think too much about it. No.
I probably am. No, I'm just kidding.
She's ex machina. Nah, the only skin condition I got is that it's super light.
Yeah. Hey, that could be a skin condition if you could look at it.
Yeah, he's the lightest out of all of us.
Yeah.
No, but I can be dark depending on like the weather. Like if it's summertime, I'm dark as hell.
Same.
Yeah. Even in the winter, I'm dark as hell. But it's a lighter shade of brown.
Which ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. Me, I got two options: either I'm light skinned or I'm red.
Yeah,
my face is red. I can literally be in the sun for like 2 minutes and I'm already burnt.
Dang.
Yeah, man, it sucks.
Couple more tats, you won't be able to tell.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's why I need more face tattoos, man. I
gotta get on it.
Gotta cover up the cachetes
and
shit.
Talking about face tattoos, I took off a piercing.
Oh, what?
I don't have the LeBret one anymore.
Well. Who's LeBret?
It's this one.
That's the name of that piercing. Mm-hmm. Dang, everything got a name now.
Yeah.
They
catch with the times.
The viewers probably won't be able to notice though because of the mic. Mm-hmm. But damn, when'd you take it off though?
It's been a month now.
What the hell? Damn. So we did 2 episodes.
I was just about to say that. Like we already done episodes, they didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I think I took it off when like a month ago.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. And you know why? Because going back to the previous episode too is the teeth thing. I kept biting on it while I was sleeping.
Oh,
so
damn.
See that por si, my teeth are already throwing up gang signs. Imagine if I chip it off. And I've had it since I was 16.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That piercing.
So
I know I don't be paying attention to that. I've known her for hella years and just noticed she had the piercing right there.
Yeah.
Man,
remember when we went to go get the dermals?
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
That was crazy. See, I bleed a lot. When I get piercings, I bleed like crazy. Like even the piercing person will panic about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, give me more napkins.
Yeah, like instead of you passing out, they pass out.
Yeah, I'm like, hey.
The piercer passes out.
No pasa nada.
But hey, speaking of piercings and tattoos, do you guys have anything that you guys want to get before summer? Like as far as tattoos and piercings go?
I've been wanting to get my neck for the longest.
Yeah.
But I ain't had time, none of that. And then now that I tattoo, now I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till I find an artist that I can just do tat for tat, trade. Yeah. So, any tattoo artist that, you trying to get some ink done on yourself and you want to do a trade for trade, clock in.
Yeah, and we're going to post your tattoo page too. So if you guys need a tattoo from him, make sure you guys hit him up.
I'll be more active on there real soon. I haven't been as active because I'm like, you know what? If I haven't been doing tats, ain't no reason to be active on there. But I still get a lot of like tags on there and mentions and all that, so I'm gonna definitely be a little more active. I'm looking more towards like April, after I drop my album, my mixtape, so I'll be more active with it. But go ahead, follow the tattoo page, blasphemy.inc.
Yeah. What about you? You got any piercings or tattoo ideas that you want to get?
Another. I want a neck tattoo too.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share with us what you might get?
I think I said on the previous one, the semicolon one. Mm-hmm. With the little, I want to do that one for sure.
It's my fault.
You?
Me, I have like a bunch of tattoo ideas, but one that I might get is probably some more bats, like as a filler, like the ones that Filialo did, my last tattoo was bats right here. So I kind of want to keep the bats going till they connect to my shoulder tattoos.
Oh, tight.
So it just like boom, connects right here and then connects over here. So that's one idea. And then another idea would be just more tattoos on my legs for sure. Like I have a few different ideas, but I just know that for sure I want to get more ink on my legs. Like we've been working on those. Like before this tattoo, the last few ones that you did was on my legs, huh? Like on my shin.
The genie and then I did.
Yeah.
So it was we're working on my legs and then boom, just randomly I was like, oh, let me get some bats right here. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna start working on my right leg. Start getting some more ink on there.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I want one on my foot too.
Oh,
like for the summer to get some sandals and cute little, tattoo on the foot.
One thing about getting tattoos in the summer though is protect them from the sun.
Oh yeah,
because the sun will. I don't know the whole science about it around it, but I've noticed that, like even I've seen, forehand, I've had tattoos where I don't like let them heal. And then like, especially my hand tattoos, I'm always out in the sun and driving, forklift at work and all that. Yeah. So I would notice that my hand tattoos and anything that's visible to the sun fade a little more. You feel me? But yeah, take care of your tattoos.
Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, as far as piercings, I don't see myself getting any more piercings anytime soon. But I mean, maybe another dermal, just because I love dermals. Out of all piercings, I would say my number one favorite piercing is dermals.
Yeah,
probably dermals.
Same.
But yeah.
Piercings, the only piercing I got is my nose ring. Oh, I used to have my one ear pierced, but then it closed up and it turned into like a keloid. And ya sabe, ya valió verga.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I always remember Erica right here getting piercings way back since high school. Like she had piercings before we knew what piercings were. She was like, oh, I got this one, I got all. Like damn, then she just took like a long break.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I know I started way too early. Yeah, girls, earmuffs.
Yeah.
Selena, funny, I've got Selena some fake piercings from Amazon. They're like $5 and she like wears them to school. And I'm like, dude, if I would have done something like that, like my mom would be like, no, that's bien loca. And I'm like, no, girl, they're not real, you know, and they look really cute on her. She wants to get the spider bites.
Oh, tight.
But I'm like, no, you gotta wait a little bit. Well, at least after your 15.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. I know she's almost there.
I know.
But next you know she's gonna be 20 already and 30.
This is why I wear glasses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start beating up all her little ex-boyfriends, catching cases.
Yeah.
No, man. But piercings are cool. I like piercings.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Victor? Do you prefer piercings or tattoos?
Tattoos.
Tattoos. Yeah,
me too. More. I've never really been a piercing type of person. Like I just I don't know. I just never caught because as for a guy, you can only get so much piercings like on your face, But I was like, I just don't. I've never been, thought like, okay, let me get this here and this and there. Like dermals, they look cool. You feel me? But like I'm just fine with a nose piercing, and then any other jewelry would probably be like a grill. I'm planning on getting my grill, my bottoms.
Yeah.
Towards like a little around summertime.
Oh,
yeah. I've always had a grill, but like it's not considered a piercing, but it's still considered like jewelry. Yeah. I like keeping it simple. I don't like being like too flashy, and then I'll just let tattoos, do the whole covering of the rest of the skin.
Yeah. Same, man. Same. As you can see. Nah, I definitely want to get more ink though, for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Like just this whole year in general, I plan on getting like a lot more ink for sure. Let me see. So the next topic that I had right here, speaking of brown bag, and they're the ones that we were talking about in the opening of the episode, in the intro of the episode. So one of the members of brown bag actually got in a fight,
dude.
And then the person that told me about that was Erica. So I'm gonna let her explain. She knows a little more than me. So what happened with that?
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly, Rosecrans Vic was he was at Rolling Loud, but there was a conflict with I believe it was a No Jumper interviewer or writer, and they just started fighting with one of the Rosecrans Vic's media members, and then they got it on video of a person that looks like Vic. Yeah. Allegedly it was him. I wouldn't know. I say it's not him, but it looks like him.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. Hopefully you can put the video in because it was he just comes out of nowhere, and he's known for the bunny hop.
Yeah.
And him doing that move, right? It's just like the cherry on top, because it's like that's his whole move.
He just like shows up out of nowhere, does two bunny hops, one this way, and disappears.
Disappears.
Just
allegedly.
Allegedly.
And it's I was like, dude, Danny, did you see this? I'm gonna send it to you real quick. But I saw it from the chat first, and then I went into it because I don't follow No Jumper and I don't follow none of that, but I do follow Vic. And I think that was, but in the same sentence, I would say it's funny and it's a haha moment, but dude, you have too much to lose.
Yeah.
It is not worth it.
Yeah,
but you know, we got alcohol in your system and people around you, and they're your friends or your family, and you're gonna do some stuff.
Yeah, I agree. So question for Filiala, right? So like, say you're a producer and one of your artists gets in a fight at an event. Like, this is like a big event that like where there's other artists, there's
Rolling
other
Loud.
Yeah, so it was at the Rolling Loud. So there's a lot of people from the industry there. So your artist gets in a fight and he's not necessarily losing. It's just a one-on-one. Would you jump in it, or would you be like, that's break it up, or what would you do?
Well, I have been known to crash out. So I'm the type of person that's like, I'm not into jumping. I don't condone it.
Yeah.
Pero if like one of my peoples is fighting, and I'm gonna be back there like not instigating, but back there like just watching to see who else runs up. I've been known to be like, who else want to run up, in situations like that, calling out their other homies, just because it's all in the adrenaline. But if you're at that position where you're already, like me right now, I'm just a regular, you feel me, motherfucker. I ain't out there popping, doing Rolling Loud events and all that. So right now, yes, I'd probably be crashing out most of the time. But that's just how I am. I've always been the type that, like, if I'm with you, even if I barely know you, if I'm with somebody and then, you come along with the group, if we go to an event together, you feel me, we riding together. So if I'm like, say I'm kicking it with these fools and then they bring one of their homies and everything, and I don't know them like that, but if we're in the same group, the same, like we got there together, then hey, we rocking, and that's how I expect people to, like a lot of people, normally would think like that, but I wouldn't, I would, if my homie's handling it, or, then I'd probably just sit there and be like, okay, let him do his thing.
Yeah.
But the moment I see my homie fall, or, like, then I'll jump in. And like I said, I don't condone jumping, but I'm sorry. If I see one of my people's, you feel me, stumbling and they're messing up in a fight, I'm going to give them the upper hand by throwing my little 2 cents. And, hey, I might get jumped in the process, but, hey, been there, done that. But you never know. I mean, when I get more professionally in there, I might be a little more like, you know what, let me, because I do think before I act, even though I crash out, but I'm a quick thinker, like I can do it like that.
Yeah.
Pero I think before I act, and I always, just the way I think, when something's going on, my brain just starts thinking of 100 other scenarios that can go whichever way I, like depending on what my next act is. And it just depends on the scenario. But a place like that where there's a whole bunch of security, and then I might think twice about it, like, oh well, my homie got it, I ain't really gotta go to jail with him right now, you feel me? Like if he's the one that's handling business. But like I said, if one of my peoples and producers and all that, the moment I see them stumbling and struggling to in that fight, I'm gonna throw in a little alley-oop. I might pick something up and throw it at the other person, you feel me? But it's just how I was raised. It's like, when growing up on the block and all my little homies used to fight, and we always just rock around with each other, and but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, true. So what about you? Like, say you're in that Vic's scenario. Allegedly, we don't really know if it's him. We're not saying it was him. We're just saying, what if this guy just suspiciously looked a lot like him? So we're just gonna say, like, what if you were in that scenario? What would you have done?
In all honesty, I probably would go in, but to break it up, not to fight.
Yeah.
I would put my hands in, and now if my hands in the process going in hit you on accident, that's on you, because I'm just trying to separate it. But one thing about me is that like my brother said, we were raised to, if you get into something, you better come out without getting your ass beat, because if you get your ass beat when you come home, you're gonna get your ass beat again.
Yeah.
So we're not fighters, but we know how to defend ourselves. So I would go in there with the certainty that I'm gonna break it up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get in a fight. I don't want to do that because I don't want to hurt you. But yeah, I would totally do that.
It's for your own good.
It's porque, what is it? I do this because I care about you.
I do this because I care.
It hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah, no, she's like, it's gonna hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So I would probably go in there to separate it, and then if the other person's people think that I'm jumping in, then by all means, then I'm in it. But because I'm sure in the squabble they're gonna see, oh, like, she's trying to jump in, and then they're gonna try to get me, and then we're both in jail.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm that high up in the industry, that means I got some money for bail, so I'll be all right.
See, like me, the way I look at it is like this. Because I'm only going to speak on this one specific fight, just from the video that I saw. I feel that by the time this person that suspiciously looks a lot like Vic, then what was it? Something broken.
Something broken.
I farted.
Oh, man.
Nah.
No, by the time that he jumped in, the fight was pretty much over. Yeah. Because basically what happens is, there's two dudes squaring off, punches get thrown and stuff. They both end up on the ground, and then they both just stop swinging. So out of nowhere, here comes this person, and he starts kicking the other dude in the face, and then he runs off. But it's like, if I was right there and I see, okay, they pretty much both fell, and they're both stopped swinging, it's over. I would have just walked over there and or ran over there or whatever and broke it up. Especially if I'm at the fame level of Vic, if it was him, because I'd be like, okay, there's way too many cell phones out. There's way too many people here. I have, I work at a radio station. Allegedly, if it's him, so it's like I wouldn't want to risk all that just for this, 5 minutes of throwing down. Mm-hmm. So I would have kind of thought more of that. I definitely would have went over there and broke it up. But like, let's say the fight wasn't over, and let's say the dude was beating up my homie and everything, then I might run over there and do some other stuff too. But again, when you're at that position of fame and you're getting paid, you're basically getting paid to behave. Mm-hmm. Then I would think a little more. Maybe just went over there, broke it up. And then we can just jump that fool some other time,
At another place. Yeah.
Different place where there's no cameras,
Mm-hmm. See, I've never seen the video, but the way y'all make it seems like if he jumped in, like, the way y'all put in it, to me, it seems like if he jumped in just for the looks.
Yeah.
Because if you jump in when everything's over and the man's down at that's one thing about me. I would never kick a person while they're down. Mm-hmm. Unless we're jumping them, but that's like a different case scenario. I have to be really mad for that to happen. Yeah. But especially if the fight's over and the person's on the floor, I might not get into it. That's a different scenario. But from like I said, I never seen the video, but from what I'm hearing, it just seems like he was just like, that's my homies, let me make a scene of myself. Especially y'all said he was doing a bunny hop and that he's known for it. Like, so it's like, if you're doing your signature moves and all that, it's kind of like, all right, they're watching this and that. But don't get it wrong. Like I said earlier, yes, I'll be the type to crash out, but you also gotta, think about the dangers. Like, look what happened. I don't know if it was the Rolling Loud, but look what happened to what's his name? That rapper that got stabbed in the
Draco.
neck. Draco. Yeah. Look what happened to Draco. Same incident. There was groups of people fighting, and then boom, just one little stab to the neck. You feel me? What happened? He hit his the vesicular. What's that? The main vein in your neck?
Yeah,
I forgot what it's called.
But
vesicular or something like that. Yeah. But he barely got tapped right there on his neck. He kept him. ¿Qué pasó? He bled out and died, all because of an incident or something like that. So don't get it wrong. Like, it sounds good saying, I'm gonna jump in front of my homie and crash out, but you never know. While you're jumping in, somebody can just come from the back and be like, hey, worried about their homie, and then bop bop stabbed, or what if they have a gun on them? You never know. Boom boom. Over an incident of trying to look cool and all that. So you just gotta be careful in situations like that. Like I said, I think before I act. So if I was in a scenario like that, of course, before I'm like running in there swinging, I'm looking around at who else is around, because it'll leave me vulnerable, not paying attention to my surroundings. So you just gotta. It's like those situations like that is kind of iffy. And the smarter thing would be to just try to diffuse it. Like they're a little more mature than me. Like I'm mature, but when it comes to crashing out and stuff like that, I don't be giving a damn sometimes, but y'all gotta be careful.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, and a lot of times, like, our first reaction is to run in and help, because I'm hella chill and everything, but there's a situation that me and Erica got into one time where, so, we're not gonna...
That's hella funny. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, because I feel like it kind of fits the scenario of kind of what happened here. Like just because it was a public event, and I'm over here just chilling, and then I turn around, and then I see my sister fighting over there, right? So then, which is my sister right here. So, like, as soon as I realized that was my sister, I like everything just went out the window. Like my first reaction though was to go break it up, because I'm like, okay, girl fight, whatever. So I'm gonna go break it up. So I go over there to break it up, but the people that were with the other person, they didn't think I was just there to break it up, So then it turned into something huge, like pause. So it turned into like a whole nother thing, right? A big ass rumble out of just, but in the moment, I just, my first reaction was to go help, to go jump in, go get in it, whatever. But back then, I wasn't nobody famous or anything like that. But it's like, if it is allegedly Vic, I would be like, you know what? You have a lot to lose. You should just, stop, wait a little bit, and go break it up for sure. Go break it up because that's your artist, and whatever. but don't get yourself involved, because it's like in Vic's situation, he has too much money to where they'll purposely try to go sue him, and I think something like that happened, right? Like they tried to sue him or something.
Rumor has it that he's like filing, pressing charges.
Yeah, yeah. So so just stuff like that is like there's obviously a person's first reaction is go run and help, but then when you have everything that Vic has going for him right now, it's like you kind of have to like stop and think like, okay, like maybe let's just break it up for now, and then we'll get we'll do what we got to do later,
Yeah, it's like your best way to attack somebody, or not even attack, like the best revenge is success. It's like just keep doing you. Clearly there's beef there because there's jealousy there.
Yeah,
it's like you're in the number one radio station. You're the morning show for Los Angeles. It's like people are gonna see you and think, oh yep, let's hate on this person just because.
Oh dang, he's doing all that. Like, I would have thought twice.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're a public figure like that, like people, like show, say there's some promoter that wants to book you for a show. Now they're gonna be like, damn, he a troublemaker. Like all his homies. It's been there. I've been there. Like my camp, Black Sky Entertainment. Like we used to do a lot of shows locally, and we've been banned from shows because of fighting. And then, even though it was like 4 fights going on at that show. And, Payday, Javis, and Reddy, they're my witnesses. It was like 5 fights going on at that show. And not like four fights. It was a big show. I mean, it was like it was a Jay Stalin show, so there's a lot of hood members in there. And they were all fighting and everything. But for the fact that everybody knew us for performing at that spot and being rappers, security and them all was saying, oh, Black Sky, they all started it. They started it. So we got banned from, Blue Lamp, in a certain couple clubs. And it also went out to actual clubs downtown, because after that incident, my ex-girlfriend, it was my birthday was coming up, and she tried to book me a booth at Social, and they ran my name in Social. They're all like, oh, he's from Black Sky Entertainment. I felt kind of tight because I was like, like we popping, but this is Social, this is a regular nightclub, and by them running my name, they're all like, oh, he's banned from certain clubs in Sacramento, him and Black Sky Entertainment. So I was just like, it was a bittersweet thing, like, damn, okay, we popping, because this ain't even a club where you rap at, but it's just like, damn, like it got around like that, and all because of a little fight, it kind of tarnished, a lot of my business, like it tarnished a lot. It messed up a lot of my movements, So it's like you also got to be careful in situations like that, especially if you're on the radio and all that. Like, you definitely. But me, I'm not like that, so I'd be the type. And you know what? To be real, I wouldn't even crash out now that I'm older in all aspects. The only time I would act without thinking is if one of them are fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who it is, even if right or wrong, like they're fighting, and that's the only time I'll slap a bitch.
Yeah.
If if my sister's fighting a female, like I would not mind dropping a female, like close fist, dropping her, like all that, like a man. For my sister, I'd do that, and for my brother the same thing. Like, even if my brother's winning or my sister's winning, I might just jump in there and trip the opponent a little bit, just because that's like that. Nah, that's you. I don't care what's going on, right or wrong. I'm riding for them.
Yeah,
you feel me? But other than that, most other scenarios, I would think about it. You gotta think, especially if you're like in the radio and all that. But when it comes to familia, everything's out the window. You just gotta crash out.
I agree.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely. If it's family, there's no that thinking goes out the window. Definitely. If any of you two, got into some ish, like I would definitely. Like I said, Erica right here, you guys might see us all quiet and everything, but it's like when stuff went down, like
she was the most wild one.
Yeah, like
look at her smile.
we pretty much did what we had to do, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's just case by case, but we definitely don't recommend you guys, just go out there and just
crashing out.
Crashing out, especially if you have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Because like for example, like when I went to LA, this recent time, and I was telling you about it on the episode that we did right after, I was talking about how there was some dude acting kind of crazy, and it's like my first reaction was okay, start crashing out too, but it's like I had to think about it. Okay, everyone around us is a family, so it's all families around us. It's a family environment. I'm not just gonna start swinging on this dude for no reason. I gotta wait for him to I gotta wait to see what he's trying to do,
Right.
Like the story that I said about, we're at the ice cream truck. So it's like that, so it's like in that moment, obviously I'm watching this dude. I'm like, okay, if he takes one step closer, or if he does any kind of movement, then, then it's on the cracking. But it's a family environment. So I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh, he was the aggressor. Like, you know, oh, he was the one that started it. Oh, you know, it's like they might have not seen when he was acting crazy, you know, talking about, you know, oh, I have a message for you and stuff, you know, the stuff that we talked about. So just, you know, you always got to kind of like, you know, look at your surroundings, kind of like, you know, like Denzel said, man, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, right?
There you go.
So it's like if you can prove that they tried to swing on you first, then you're good, right?
Yep.
Because what did Denzel say? You want to go home or you want to go to jail? but
that was
yeah, bars right there.
This motherfucker spin.
yeah, man. You know, but it's just like, you know, it's like, again, you know, we understand that if it's a scenario where it's family, you know, or your significant other, you know, you're gonna do what you got to do without thinking. But it's like we recommend to look around you and you know use your best judgment. And if you have a lot to lose, you know, if you're popping like that, the way that Vic is allegedly, it's like, man, you could just, you know what I'm saying, without saying too much on here, it's like you could just you know, hire somebody to, you know, take care of some stuff for you, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like
problem solved.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, you know, there's different ways to go about certain things, you know. So let me see. So, did you guys want to anything else you guys got to say about that scenario, about that situation?
I think that's pretty much it. Just pick your battles.
Yeah.
Not everything needs a reaction.
Yeah, true.
True. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta. You just kill them with kindness. I've been trying to practice on that lately. Like lately, I've been trying to be better on my road rage and all that. Yeah. So like, I just try to look at it from a different point of view. Like, bro, like. Think about it, like even with road rage, like back then I would get so mad. Someone cut me off, I'd be like, "What the fuck you cut me off for?" And then I go and try to cut them off, and then it's just like, bro, like pa' que, you know, like sometimes someone cut you off, you be sitting there hella irritated, cussing them out, and they don't even know what's going on. They're still going on in their own world, just in their own mind, like la la la, and they're still in the same mood, and you're over here now hella pissed, and you're the only one that's pissed about that incident. So it's like, why waste all your energy like being mad about something when the other person don't even know and they don't even give a damn, you know, like they don't even know who you are or nothing. So I'm trying to approach, you know, road rage like in that aspect, and I've been pretty good at it. I've been like, you know, when someone cuts me off or someone's on my ass too much, no homo, you know, when we're in the car, I just don't let it bother me. I just be like, and then they drive by mugging me, I just smile at them now. Like back then I'd be mugging, I'd be like, what's up? You know, I'll say some stupid shit. But now I just more like, you know, pa' que, you know, like we're all older, like, you know, in all aspects, you just like some shit ain't even worth it. Even when like some old ass gangbangers be trying to be like, where you from? Like, bro, like it ain't even, I used to get mad. I used to be like, bro, how old are you? Like, how old is we? You see, I'm a grown ass man asking me where I'm from. But now I just don't even bother. They'll be like, where you from? I'll be like, bro, I'm from Christianity. You feel me? So switch it up on them. What they gonna say after that? They gonna be like, damn.
Yeah. They gonna be like, look at God, look at God.
Blasphemous.
Oh man, that's hella funny. But that's true, man. That's hella true. That's hella true. Let me see. So the next topic, and I feel that this one kind of goes with like spring coming on and, you know, being close to summer, is fitness. Fitness. So one, I want to say congratulations to Erica because you have been doing a lot of progress. We'll let you, congratulations to Erica. We'll let you explain that, but I just want to say congratulations. But let the viewers know, tell them some motivational shit.
So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's no shotcut around me.
Other than ours.
Other than theirs.
Cheers to
cheers.
Cheers with Yellow.
So I don't drink anymore. I'm not drinking for right now because of this fitness journey that I'm on. I felt like I'm not a big drinker anyway, but I did like to drink on occasions, and when I did, me pasaba a lot. So I've been cutting out sugar from my diet. So I'm doing it's kind of like a keto, but not really, because I still get a little bit of, you know, I still eat fruit and but I'm doing my own little thing, and luckily it's been helping me a lot with this whole change. And so far I am down 22 pounds. Damn. And it's been 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's your lucky number 2.
Mm-hmm. So good luck trying to find my waist this summer. I'm just kidding. I got that from my daughter. But yeah, I've been cutting out a lot of sugar. I've been changing my eating habits. I haven't been hitting the gym a lot, but I am more active at work because I got a little schedule change. So I'm getting my daily 10,000 steps still, and then some, you know. So
that's hella good.
Yeah,
big stepper.
And then I still come home and I still take more, you know, walks with my girls. So I'm on that. I'm on it.
Yeah.
For me to stop drinking says a lot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's like me stop smoking.
Yeah.
It's like what? Like what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a huge accomplishment, man. I could definitely tell, that you've been losing weight. And then I've also been there when people compliment you and tell you that you've been losing weight. So that's a huge accomplishment, man. A huge accomplishment. That's very motivational. It's gonna motivate somebody out there for sure. And it's like it's good that you're doing all that for your health.
Yeah, and it's whoever's struggling with that, just cut out sugar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to substitute when it comes down to sugar. Like if you like Coke, drink Coke Zero. If you like ice cream, there's ice cream that doesn't.
I was thinking something else. I know what you were thinking.
That helps you lose weight too.
Yeah.
No comment. No.
Yeah, if you try to lose weight, make sure you like Coke.
Yeah, like Coke soda, like Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Diet Coke.
But no, yeah, there's a lot of things. Just do your research, do your numbers, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And then once you start seeing the progress, you're gonna be like, dude, I'm not gonna go back.
Yeah.
Nah, that's how it be. Like once people start complimenting you, that's always motivation. So if y'all ever see somebody, like you notice that they're skinny, go ahead and give them that compliment, bro, because you never know. Like it really is motivation. Like me, once I started losing weight a long time ago, people started being like, hey, you're getting thinner.
Yeah.
I was, when you see yourself every day, you're not noticing the change, but there are people that don't see you on a daily basis. Well, the next time they'll see you, they'll notice it. So it's like, there's been times where I'll be like, damn, bro, like I ain't been doing nothing. Like I still feel like the same.
Yeah.
And then once people started being like, oh, you look skinny and this and that had me like, oh shit, okay, I'm doing good. And that really gives you that extra motivation. So if y'all see someone, working on trying to get themselves, their fitness, handled, and you notice a difference, just give them that compliment. Just be like, hey, even if you feel like, even if they say I've been working out every day and you don't notice it, just give them a little lie, just as motivation, kind of be like, oh, you know what, I see it a little bit, and then they'll be like, all right, cool, but like just go ahead. It never hurts to compliment somebody on a progression, so it's like if you see somebody getting thinner, give them that compliment, you feel me? Just not the other way around, because you'll be like, man, you getting bigger. And then
don't do that.
That might send them to a different
that
path.
goes them to a bridge. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
dude, I went far.
Bring on the cortavena.
But yeah, man, stop being go ahead, compliment the world, man. It makes the world a better place.
Yeah, true. No, that's true. That's all true. Yeah, man.
But then what were you saying? We had to cut you off.
Me? Oh, that was it.
Oh.
There's no sugar.
No sugar.
Yeah.
That's what she said. No.
Yeah. So basically what Eric is trying to say is that now that she ain't got no panza, you fools ain't got no chanza.
Period.
So excuse the tranza.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, shout out to everybody on their fitness. I'm trying to get on it. Like I'm very fluctuative with my acts. Like one day I'll be like, cool, let's get it. And then another day I'll just be hella, what really messes me up, to be real, like I'll be cool, and then like later I try not to eat late at night. But then I was, like I usually don't smoke in the mornings because I go to work and all that. By the time I get off work, shower and all that, I smoke. And then once I smoke, the munchies kick in, and that's like, bro, it'll be like literally, I'm about to go to sleep, but my stomach starts grumbling, and then my high ass be like, let me go grab something real quick, and that's what be messing me up. So, a veces, pero like. Other than that, like, I've stopped drinking as much as soda. Like, I drink a lot of water now. And it just fluctuates, but it's always, it's like, even though I do fall back, a day or two and then come back the next day, as long as you don't quit, like, as long as you're just like, oh, damn, I already fucked up these 2 days. Like, all right, and it discourages people. Like, nah, just keep doing it. Even if you feel like, dang, I've gone a whole week without doing this. Like, no, because if you stay there, you're going to stay at that 1 week, like. That's what it's going to feel like. But if you just continue it, then, bro, like a week goes by, another week later, you'll feel like you did 2 weeks. Yeah. So, just, like even if you fall off for a little bit, don't stop. Just keep going back at it. Because at the end of the day, all our lives lead to one path only. Yeah. And that's guaranteed. So regardless, it's inevitable. So do what you can to make your presence last longer on this world.
And that's the thing, that it's like what keeps me motivated this time around, because we've been talking about fitness since we started doing this, and we, like you said, you fall off and then you get back to it and you fall. Is health. Yeah. I don't care to be skinny. I don't care to be, we joke around and be like, oh, I don't have, but it's your health. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter how much money you got in your bank account, no matter how many dudes, how many Sanchez, how many Sucias, If you don't have health, you don't have anything.
Yeah, that's true.
There's people, we've seen it firsthand, where there's people laying in hospital beds because of, high blood pressure, sugar in their system, of people getting, their legs cut off, their fingers cut off because of what they ate, what they didn't eat, how they didn't take care of themselves, how they didn't get into the gym. Let that be your motivation.
Yeah.
Not, I'm about to look hella skinny. I'm about to look hella buff. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Do it for your health in general.
Yeah, especially as like Latinos, we have certain diseases and stuff that are like so hereditary in our culture. Like us specifically, like for example, there's a lot of como enfermedades and diseases and stuff that run in our family, so it's like you have to the odds are already against you, and they're already against us. So it's like you have to think of like, okay, what could I do today to switch it up to maybe make the odds go in my favor. Shout out Hunger Games, may the odds be ever in your favor. But it's like, you have to look at it like that. And you know how like what they're saying is like you might fall off a day, you might fall off a couple of days, but it's like you have to remember it's a marathon, right? It's long term, it's not a sprint. Yeah, shout out, shout out Nipsey.
Nipsey Hussle.
Shout out Nipsey. But yeah, so it's like, it's long term. It's not just a week or a couple of days. No, it's like long term. So long term, 2 days of falling off is nothing compared to years of going through with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And you too. Y'all see his post at the gym doing his thing.
Yeah, like today I went to the gym. So in the morning I went to the river. Just went for a walk just for cardio. Then later, after the gym. So I know I'm worried. Okay, so I went to the river just for cardio. Came home, took a little nap. Then I went to the gym to lift,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like then I took another nap before we recorded this episode. But yeah, trying to stay on it too.
Damn, sounds like a productive ass day.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Shit, I slept all day. I'm over here like, damn, what the hell I do with my day? This one done got 2 workouts. I'm over here just catching Z's.
Yeah, and it's like I'm just looking at it like I'm not trying to gain weight or lose weight. I'm just trying to stay active. I'm trying to stay trying to keep my heart pumping, trying to keep my blood flowing. For right now, that's my only goal, is to just keep my heart pumping, keep my blood flowing, pretty much.
Especially as we're all getting older. So it's like, think about it. Your heart has been pumping nonstop since the day you was born. Yeah. So it's like, the heart can only pump for a certain amount of time, years at that, averagely, 80 years. So it's like we're only getting older and our heart's not getting stronger. So all we can do is just, try to make it last a little longer.
It better last long as hell.
Yeah. Gotta go Key Sweat on that motherfucker. Make it last forever.
Immortality.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But no, when I was a truck driver, I remember seeing grown men truck drivers crying because their license got taken away for having high blood pressure and high sugar in their blood and stuff like that. Those are like simple things that you just get when you're older, And it's
they take the drivers. I didn't mean to cut you off. They take your license away as your driver for what?
Yeah, they'll take your license away. Yeah,
I never knew that.
Yeah,
look, high blood pressure is you could get a stroke.
Yeah,
and then if you have like blood in your sugar, you can pass out while driving.
Yeah,
or if it's too high.
Wow,
yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, so it's like, imagine that's how you make your money. Like, as truck drivers, that's how they make their money. And then you know what? Your sugar came back too high. Your blood pressure came back too high. And those are simple things that we hear all the time. Just in general, you just always hear somebody got high blood pressure, and then boom, you lose your license. You can't work no more. Mm-hmm. So it's like I learned that from back in those days. And back in those days, I was like 20, but I would see the older truck drivers in their 40s, 50s, 60s lose their license, and it was like small. To us it was to me being a 20-year-old, it was small because I'm like, oh dude, all my tias got that. Right. All my deals got high blood sugar and blood pressure and all that. So to see somebody lose their job because of a health problem like that, it motivates you to like, okay, well, what could I do right now to avoid that in the future?
Right.
Like luckily I'm not a trucker no more. I don't drive no more, but it just made me. It put a lot into perspective. Yeah. Just knowing like, okay, these gentlemen, they're older. We're all gonna get there eventually. So it's like all this person did was get older. That's all they did. And then boom, the health issues hit them. But maybe they didn't take care of themselves when they were younger. So that made me want to start taking care of myself when I was younger.
Right.
And he's always been big on like healthy. Like back then when we were all teenagers, like younger and everything, all of us, and he would be he would be the only one hella skinny on his fitness shit. And he'd be telling us, y'all need to drink more water. Y'all need to stop eating this and that. I remember I was making a peanut butter sandwich one day. He's like, that's too much peanut butter. And he pulled out his own. He's like, see, this is how I do it. And I used to be like, okay. I was like, I see you skinny, bro. Like, you know, but he was always big on that. And, you know, like when you're younger, you're kind of like, bro, shut the fuck up, you know. But as you get older, you're just like, damn, bro, like he really been on it, you know, like, and
he was looking out.
Was looking out for us, you know, his siblings, you know, like how many people, like you always got to take that in consideration. If someone's out there consistently telling you, hey, bro, you should do this and that, you can't sit in there looking at it like, bro, shut up, you're hella annoying. Like, you got to look at it like, damn, this person actually cares, especially if they're repeating themselves. Like, you know, like that person actually cares. So back then, you know, when you're siblings, you're just like, bro, shut the fuck up. Right? But, you know, as you get older, you're just like, damn, bro, he used to give me good advice. Like, and that's how I got comfortable. Like back then, I used to be way bigger back then, and then I had lost all that weight at a point, you know, and I was like really on my fitness thing. And I remember that's what got me into, you know, drinking water, because he was always I used to be like, damn, how the hell is this fool eating pizza and drinking water? And I used to be like, hell no, like that was a crime back then to me, you know. It's like, you know, drinking water with food because you're just so used to drinking the soda. And he was always like, nah, bro, it's easy to drink water. So then in my head, I would be like, if this fool can drink water and force himself, I could. And then it got to the point where I was just like, oh, bro, it's water. Like, you know, and then you really realize, like, you don't need something sweet and, you know, with hella sugar in there to make the food pass. I was like, all you need is a little liquid, little water. And it's at the end of the day, it's, you know, you're just eating the food. Like, you can't be over, you know, exaggerated and get a soda with hella sugar in there. Like, you gotta balance it out. And he taught me that shit, you know. So it's just like seeing him being able to drink water with all the time with hella food. That's what kind of had me like, well, if this fool can do it, I can do it. And then, you know, over time, I really, once I was on that little journey, I grew a liking to water. To now, to this day, I still, you know, can drink water with a burger or stuff like that. You know, even water with a cookie, like. You know, it's a great just substitute, you know, water for everything, and you'll see some little difference at the end, and that's one step, you know.
Message.
And you know what? It's crazy because the way we grew up, like, I know some of us or some of you guys are going to listen to, like, why wouldn't you drink water with your food, right? But the way we grew up is that we never had anybody to tell us that's not how you're supposed to eat. Like, you're supposed to balance it out. We just had food given to us and we ate it. Yeah. And that goes into perspective of, like, how much Danny took care of himself, that, like, no one taught him that. He taught him himself because he's seen the older tias and the older tios having those health issues. And he's like, well, I'm not going to be that, so let me do this. And you know what? I have these younger siblings that let me put them on. But then we're like, whatever, you know? But then we did, but we were little. Yeah. So it's like we did not have that teaching because of, you know, who was taking care of us. It was this is all we had. Yeah. And we had to teach each other and learn from each other, but we were so used to, like, the cereal and the whole milk and the pizza and the cheeseburgers with the big old side of Coke, and that's how we were overweight. Yeah. And that's how we looked, you know, but and not to shun, like, the parents, you know, like, you also got to think about it, like, our parents, you know, they came from Mexico, you know, like our mom, she came from Mexico. So at the same time in Mexico, they were, at the time back then, you know, they weren't, you know, like, Mexicans are known for buying them big ass Coca-Cola gallons, you know, like the 60 something ounce ones, you know. So it's like, they weren't really up to date on nutrition. To this day, you know, like, Mexicans are very unhealthy. If you go to Mexico, they're always drinking Coke, all this and that. So it's just like, you know, they didn't know any better. So it's like, it's not like our mom was being naive and being like, whatever, they can eat everything. You know, it's just over there they weren't taught a certain way. So coming over here, you gotta adapt to this lifestyle, you know. So it's just like everything's differently. And I do remember, you know, my mom would get on us también, you know, and then, but it's just when you're young, you're just like, we're American. We used to think we knew more than our mom. We used to be like, we're American. You came from Mexico. Like, you know, that's when you're younger, you know, when you're a kid, you think like that. And then I remember being 5 years old thinking like, man, my mom don't know what she's talking about. She barely speaks English. Like, you know, like, and it's like, all that adds to it, you know. So it's just like, you know, like I said, not to shun our parents. It's just sometimes they're learning too, you know. But I do remember my mom, you know, used to be like, hey, be careful. But if anybody was really honest about that, was this fool. And then look at this buff ass now, still skinny buff.
hey, all this talking about water made me want to sip some tequila.
Fuck it, give me another shot.
But but that's true, man. Because it's like, even now, our mom is hella health conscious. Yeah. Is she not? She's like, oh, mira lo que miren en TikTok, que no tengo que comer esto. You know? And I'm like, Mom, I've been telling you about that since the 90s.
And that's true. He does. He's like, pero mamá, ¿cuántas veces no te dije?
Yup. I'm like, Mom, I've been telling you that since 1992.
Dang. And you know what? That's like true.
That's true, right?
That's true.
Because Eric will be there. Eric will be there when my mom's like, oh, que miré un TikTok que no debes de comer eso. And I'm like, Mom, ¿cuántas veces no te dije que no tienes que comer eso?
Every time she's like, no, pues es que lo miré hoy.
Oh, cheers.
Oh.
Cheers. I'm going to refill mine too. But yeah, that's true, man. That's true. It's crazy that you guys remember that. Because I was always on it. Because see, it's crazy because, so this is a quick story time, right? So our mom was born in Mexico, came from Mexico. So was I. I was born in Mexico, came from Mexico. So I get here and I grew up with my cousins, my 4 cousins before they were born. So I grew up with my 4 cousins. So it's 5 of us. So all my 4 cousins had health issues, right? Somehow they had health issues. I'm not going to go into details of what health issues they had, but it's the common health issues that all my tias had. So me coming from different from like somewhere else, you know, I'm just looking at it like, damn, okay, like, so over there, I can't even afford this kind of food. You know what I mean? So like, why am I going to eat this kind of food if like, oh, I just grew up on motherfucking, you know, quesadillas y tortas y todo, but from over there, right? So the food here has a lot more stuff added into it. So then, boom, fast forward, you know, we grow up into adults. And again, like I said, all my cousins end up having health issues except for me. So that's why I was trying to pass that knowledge down to my 3 siblings right here. And our sister too, you know, but it's like because seeing it firsthand. Like I literally see this tia, every single tia, all of them had certain health issues. And it's like, so I'm just taking that knowledge, and like I said, from being a trucker too, and seeing these older gentlemen that lost their job because they weren't healthy when they were young. So I'm taking all that knowledge and trying to pass it down to my siblings. Yeah. So that's where that came from. Even though, you know, when they were teenagers, they're like, oh, fuck this. What are you talking about? You don't know what he's talking about. But, so it's crazy that you guys even remember that. So I was kind of shocked right now. Yeah. Like, I shed a few tears. He's
like, they do remember.
Yeah, they do. They remember. You remember. I remember. But yeah, that's true, man. So, again, so we got hella sidetracked. But basically, stick to your goals, guys. Your fitness goals. You know, you might fall off a couple of days. You might eat some, you know, fat ass pizza on the weekend. But it's like, you think about long term, as long as you stick with it, that one pizza that you had on Friday night, Saturday night, is not gonna matter, you know.
Right.
You just gotta stay healthy, basically. Cool. So, do you guys want to say anything more about that before I start crying or anything?
No.
No, the only thing is, like, when you first said fitness, I thought of this like funny joke that has the word fitness in it.
Hey,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking.
It's a little inappropriate, but every time I hear that word now, I think of that joke.
Yeah, we're not gonna say it right now because our sister's right here in the room.
I know, that's exactly why I say it. I was like, you know what? I don't think my sister wants to hear us talking like this.
Our sister's in the room with us, so we get.
But fitness is the word of the day.
But you could tell when the 2 males in the room remember the joke.
Double entendres. No. Okay.
So the next topic is we're actually gonna be filming more episodes wherever we travel.
Yeah.
So, you know, since, for example, like me and Eric, we're always in LA and stuff, and we've been to like Fresno and other places too. We're gonna be filming more episodes wherever we go. So I actually talked to my friend. She's actually she's a vendor. She does what I do. Like, she sells sage and stuff. She sells sage and she sells like the same products I do. So shout out Gems Glow Up. Homegirl Jeanette from Gems Glow Up. I asked her if she wanted to do a episode, you know, and talk about her story, because she's been through a lot these recent years. I won't get into that right now. We're gonna wait for her to tell her story here on the podcast. And then I have another homegirl. She's a model agent, so she actually hires models to be on music videos, on magazine covers and stuff like that out there in LA. So we're also going to interview her. So we're already lining up, you know, interviews. And then, you know, like, for example, like affiliado too. Whenever you travel, like, you know, going out of town, with your music career. We could even film episodes wherever you travel to, you know. We'll all go out there and fucking film an episode there, you know, even if it's just like in the hotel room or there, you know, we could take some behind the scenes footage, but then we could also do the whole podcast there, like in the room, you know.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about podcasts is like you can actually just blog anything, and get have an episode out of it.
Yeah. So we just want to let you guys know we're definitely planning on making more episodes out of town, right? Out of town. So it's not always this plain background right here that we got. And then also, let me see. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Look forward to an all-girl podcast episode featuring the famous group chat.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that. We still have a little, planning to do. We don't know what day, but we're going to make it happen soon so we can have a little inside scoop on the Malas Influencias group chat.
Hey, that's going to be a good one. I'm not going to be on the episode because it's going to piss me off.
All the girl topics.
Yeah, because they're going to be talking about how they hate men. So I don't want to sit there hearing about how much I'm hated. But it's like, but it's going to be a good episode though. But we want to get it just because of our audience.
Yeah.
Our audience is going to love that episode. I already know it.
Yeah. So look forward to that.
Yeah, I'll be behind the camera, like producing and making sure like all the mics working and everything.
It'll be Erica's first time at being the main host.
Right?
Yeah.
So dope.
Yeah.
She's gonna take control.
Yeah. So she's gonna be the one doing like, hey, welcome back.
Right.
Like me and Danny, we already have experience in that. Like he has his own podcast. I had my own podcast.
Yeah.
We're naturals at it, but now we're gonna see how little sis doing.
Right. And that might be one of the first days that I start to have a little sip, but because of the occasion. But
fuck, imagine hella drunk, like, just knocking shit over.
Dude, seriously,
the world, girls.
Yeah. even though everybody there is gonna hate men, I'm still excited for that episode.
No.
Be funny.
We don't look. This is gonna be the thing. We don't hate men.
Yeah.
We hate our baby daddy. I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
Yeah, no.
It's cool because the episode after that, all the men will get together and
it's gonna
we'll have our own episode.
It's going to be me, Afiliado, Danny from LA, my tocayo,
and Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. Everybody, and like everybody, like it's gonna be all the guys.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about how much we hate bitches. Nah.
Hopefully we get Ronnie on there too. But yeah, that will be a good episode.
No, it's not even about hating bitches. It's more about like equalism. Equity. Yeah. Like of course they're gonna be bashing men, and then we don't bash women. It's just more of us putting our defense up.
Yeah.
Because in reality, like to put everything aside, like. It's more fair for the woman, no pun intended, towards the women. But society revolves around benefiting the female species. Yeah, But and we're fine with that, because we love women. Yeah. But sometimes like since they get to speak their mind, we get to speak our mind on the equality, because but y'all asked for equality, so
But what's crazy? Not once did I say what we were going to talk about. Y'all just jumped to that.
I mean, all females. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
No, but it's because I know how
we're so used to it.
It's because I know how.
We're scarred.
It's because they're all my clients. No.
We're tired of getting attacked.
Oh, man. I know how my clients think.
Y'all sound. What goes he say? You guys sound guilty as hell.
No. Trust me, I know my clients.
I'm gonna use the word y'all gaslighting me to one.
No, but like what my brother was saying, we're gonna have special guest Andrew Tate that day, No, we're just playing with you guys. We're just playing out, but really though, the episode of All Girls is gonna be a good one because like the group chat's hella funny. Yeah, like I said, they might or might not be my clients because I don't like putting my clients' business out there.
No, yeah.
But I do know that they're hella funny, they're hella cool, they're hella chill. So that's gonna be a good one for the audience. And then the one of us, all guys, is gonna be good for the audience too.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
I also want to have like an episode where I bring Javis and we do a music based episode, kind of like talk about Sack Reacts. Mm-hmm. And of course Danny's gonna be in there because like he's watched us doing Sack Reacts and all that. Yeah. And it's his platform, so we're gonna we'll be using his platform to kind of talk about like, hey, this and that. We can do so much with it, like there's so much things around it. Like you see how he went to LA and shot a video, a blog out there, and then like there's so much you can do with this. But shout out to all the women for that episode. I'm excited to look. Looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, no, for sure, man, for sure. And then, and people from the vlog that have been on our vlogs, like even them being on our vlogs, that means so much to us,
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's all just jokes, we're trying to make it funny for the audience, but can't wait to watch those episodes. Definitely we got to definitely gotta do the collab with Javis. Shout out Javis. Team Scorpio, Team Dre. Hey, Javis the only one that's on Team Dre like me. but yeah, man, for sure we gotta do all this collab. Like, we got a lot of things planned for you guys, so that you guys don't just always see just us three on screen.
Hey, I just thought of a funny ass idea. So how you see like Team Drake and all that, that? Like I was like, you know what? You should have an episode just about Drake. Because Javis would be in there. I have this homegirl. Her name's Diana. Shout out to homie Diana. Hey, bro, me and her argue all the time. Well, I just do it because it's funny. But she's a very big Drake fan. Like, she's very like everything Drake. She be online arguing with people about Drake. So every time we be kicking it and getting faded, I'll always be like, I'll bring up Kendrick Lamar and she gets hella mad. No, y'all gotta give Drake his points. And then she be serious. She be hella mad. And I be sitting there like poking fun at it. And everybody be telling me like, bro, calm the fuck down. Like you're just egging it on. Y'all getting louder. But it's just, me, like I'm a music fanatic. So I love music debates. But like she's very like passionate about Drake and like all the time, like even her phone case is Drake. Like she loves everything about it, and will fight and defend Drake so much. So I can hella see her and you and Javis, sure. And it's funny too because she used to she's watched the podcast and be like, she's one of those people that like I've told her before, you have the personality of being in the podcast. She's like, boy, I've always wanted to try it. So she's seen the podcast and she'd be like, oh man, I love y'all setup, y'all look professional. So I was just like, and you talking about Drake, I was like, bro, that would be hella funny. You, her, and Javis sitting there talking about Drake a whole episode. Damn, that'd be wild. I'm gonna report it, but no.
That'd be a good one. And you know what another good one would be? Where we dance off to Drake songs versus Kendrick songs.
Not the dance off.
It's gonna be like the song with Drake and Chris Brown. Oh man. Oh, I can't wait for that.
I'm gonna start pulling out the windmills.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's gonna be tight.
Fun fact: when I used to live in Sky Park and I used to kick with hella little Asians, they all used to break dance, and I used to really try to sit there and hit some moves. Yeah, and I just sucked. I was too big. That is a fact. That is. We used to be out there on the cardboards trying to do it, and then. Yeah.
Hey, but that you guys used to go to the mall and play that video game.
The dancing one.
Pump It Up.
Oh, Pump It Up. Yeah.
That's another fun fact. That was my. I used to join Pump It Up tournaments and everything. And we used to be at Florida Mall right there in Tilt. Yeah. And I used to play that game every day, and I was actually good at it. Like me and my homies would go every day to practice it, and I was so good to where I can like. There was one level where I can turn around and do a couple steps backwards. And then, I was big, so people would just walk by and see my big ass moving. And then there was just that always attracted the crowd. Every time I be dancing, I turn around and everybody just starts clapping. I'd be like, they do love me. But, I used to be in some weird shit back in the day.
No, that was some kid shit. That was some fun, That
was pretty tight because he was so good that they put his name on the thing, like the score. Oh,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it's crazy because the reason I know that he used to be in there, like a whole crowd used to be in there watching him dance, is because I worked at the mall. Yeah. I worked at the mall during that time because we lived behind the mall. So I'd be at work, just walking around doing my job, and I would see my little brother was like over there dancing and shit. There's hella people in there, like what the hell? Yeah. So that was pretty tight, man. Like it's serious when they got your name on the scores, man. Like that was tight.
Yeah. So before I was battling rappers, I was battling dancers.
Yeah, man. That was pretty tight, man. So shout out Florida Mall. Shout out Tilt. It was called Tilt.
Yeah, it was called Tilt.
It's called Tilt.
Yeah.
The arcade. Real ones know.
Yeah, and shout out JCPenney's at Florida Mall. Because that's the real Susias know. I mean, the real ones know about that one.
Hey, we got to have a whole episode about our experiences at Florida Mall.
Florida Mall, dude.
Episode dedicated to Florida. Or maybe just a topic, but we got to talk about Florida Mall.
I know she probably doesn't see this, but shout out Shayla. That was my best friend.
Damn, I forgot about Shayla.
Back in those days, we would walk to the mall and Jasper's, get burgers and fries, China Express. Okay, we gotta have an episode.
Yeah, we do. Because seriously, we lived right behind this mall, and at that time, that mall was cracking. back when malls were a thing, you know.
Yeah, dang.
Now
There's
going
one video on YouTube that shows a little bit of the inside of Florin Mall.
What?
Because I try to show my kids so I can let them kind of see like where I grew up and like what it looked like, but it's only one video on YouTube.
Hey, ain't it crazy how, lately I've been watching a lot of like on the Sacramento Life post and all that. They've been posting like old clips of like just the streets of Sacramento back in the day. And it just makes you think like, damn, bro, like, why didn't we think of that back in the day? Like, nigga, like, okay, recorded this scene, recorded the street. And back then it'd be like, whatever, it's just a street. But you don't think about it like decades later. You don't know how much that'll be like. How important documents like that are, And it's like, I be seeing these old videos and I be like, damn, bro, like, if I can go back in time and, like, record scenes in Florin Mall of us kicking it, like, you know how valuable those, like, those memories would be today, And it's just like, so that made me be like, dang, you know what? Like, I don't do it too often, but there was a point where I was just like, I need to start recording everything. And like, even when when I had recently got a new phone, when I was in my apartment, I was like, you know what? One day we're going to move out this spot and we're going to be like, dang, like, we're going to forget everything about it. So I was like, I literally recorded a video of the whole living room. Like, this is the living room, this and that. I recorded Bella. And then I'm like, bro, like in the future, 10 years from now, this video, like, we're going to appreciate it. Like, dang, that's how it's going to bring back so much memories. So, like if you're young right now and you got like some videos, try to save them all because, I mean, now it's not as hard to lose them. Yeah. But it's like, you never know in the future, camera phones might not even be a thing back in, 20 years from now, Yeah. It might be to where we just, like holograms and stuff, So it's like right now, just take advantage of what's around you because we're only getting older, like right now is the youngest we'll ever be.
Yeah, true.
So, it's like just doing little stuff like that, bro, you'll appreciate it in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some good ass advice, man. Because that's hella true.
Record everything. Like even this, like with Saca las Velitas, we're recording episodes. Yeah. But, later on, in the future, like once the girls grow up, like they've been on an episode, they'll be able to go back and be like, dang, look at y'all how little you were, and then our mother, she's been on some episodes. So, like in the future, when she's like way older, we can always look back like, look, mom, you was actually on the podcast. Like, like there's things like documented to where we can always go back and, have memories about. So, that's another thing. Just document everything and then, keep your memories because they're going to come in handy in the future.
Yeah, hell yeah. And shout out Florin Mall, man. Shout out Florin Mall.
For real. See, I know I had a good idea with wearing glasses today.
I know, right? Tell them why. No.
Because I soy chillona.
No, but tell them why you're wearing glasses. No. I'm just saying. Danny too. No.
Yeah, I know. Same.
He's over there crying also.
Yeah.
That's not a tattoo. That's a black tear. That's a brujo tear.
Yeah.
Damn, what if the little statue in the back started crying too?
Oh, he is crying. That's I put the shades on him earlier.
I seen him watery. I was like, damn, let me find out he's really crying behind this.
Yeah, that was just chilling.
You know how like in Primer Impacto they always like have the statues crying and I always felt like Primer Impacto be putting dubs on it. Like, ain't no statue over there crying.
Yeah, they're like, La Virgen was crying.
Or it's like it rains and like the fence has an image of a whatever image.
Yeah, the Virgin Mary and everybody's praying to it. I mean, it's nothing, everybody has their own belief. We're not making fun of their beliefs, but it's just,
Primer
Impacto used to exaggerate.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, este güey mordió la empanada y salió la Virgen.
The teeth made it, the mark come out.
Yeah, dude. They'll be like, oh, like his teeth marks were shaped like an angel or some shit.
And then Walter Mercado comes on.
Yeah.
Shout out R.I.P. Walter.
Yeah, shout out Walter.
He's the one that really put us on the zodiac signs.
Hell yeah. It's like no matter what's going on, as soon as they're like, oh, I viene Walter Mercado, all the tias, mom, the grandma, hey, oh, cállate, quiero ir mi signo. My mom be like, oh, deja ver qué dice de Leo.
And then we'll all hear ours, and then we'll just look at our mom. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It means do your homework.
It brings back so much memories.
Les mandamos mucho amor. Okay, so the next topic, so this kind of has to do with like, recording and movies and videos and taking videos and stuff everywhere you go. So the topic is movies.
Películas.
So there's a few new movies and remakes that are coming out like within the next few weeks. So one of them is Lilo and Stitch. Have you guys seen the previews to that?
I've seen like, not previews, but I've seen like still pictures of them.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it looks pretty interesting. I've never been a fan of I mean, it's a bittersweet when it comes to live action films.
Yeah.
It's just like you're so used to the cartoon.
Yeah.
That when something comes live action, you're kind of always prepared for the worst.
Yeah. True.
You know,
true,
like, and then most of the time, it's not that good. Like, you know, one letdown I had when it comes to live action films was like Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And like Pokemon, I was kind of like, damn, like I didn't really like. I like the cartoons better than the actual live action movie Pokemon. Same thing with Lion King. The Lion King, the cartoons, you can't top that. And when the actual live action came out, I was like, nah, this is like, it feels like I was watching National Geographic on acid because, you know, all the animals were talking. But it just felt weird. So I've never been a fan of live actions, but there can be good live actions. Like, damn, I was just thinking of one I was about to say and I hella forgot. Oh no, Sonic.
Oh, Sonic
is one of the best live action movies that I really enjoyed. You know, like I didn't think Sonic was gonna be that good, especially after they went viral when that first Sonic came out. The first
the design,
the first design, it was terrible, and I remember being like, "This movie's gonna suck." And then I watched the first Sonic movie, and the first Sonic was cool. I wasn't like, "Oh my god, it's so big," but then I knew what was to come. I'm like, "Bro, Knuckles and them are gonna have to come in the next movies." So I was just like, I was patient, but the last two Sonic movies was fire. Those are only that's a good example of good movies that turn into live action. Yeah, but. Never been a fan of it too much, but Lilo and Stitch looks like, you know, it might be. Yeah. You never know, it might be good because the girl actually looks like the Lilo and then Stitch. Wait, who's Lilo and who's Stitch? Lilo ain't Lilo the blue guy.
So Lilo is the girl. And
Stitch
is the.
Okay, so and then Stitch actually looks like the one from the cartoon. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It might not be that bad. So, but it looked interesting. What y'all think about it?
Yeah, what about you? How do you feel about the new Lilo and Stitch?
I haven't seen a preview.
What the hell?
Yeah, no, okay. But I've never really been into cartoon movies like that. I don't know why.
It's a live action.
Oh, I know, but is it the Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or one. Yeah.
I think so. But I think it's gonna. I mean, from the little bit that I've heard about it, I haven't seen it, but I mean, I heard it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So real quick fun fact, one of our sponsors, DZ Dolls, he actually has made Lilo. Stitch. He's actually made Stitch, and he actually made the little dog Scrump from the movie. If you've seen the original, then you know who I'm talking about. The little green doll and then the little blue guy, right? Mm-hmm. So our sponsor, shout out our sponsor, DZ Dolls. So he's made those in the past. I like Lilo and Stitch, the movie, the original. For a simple fact of my first time ever seeing it was when I was on the plane flying back to Sacramento from Mexico. Yeah. So in 2002, I was flying back from it was a straight flight from Guadalajara to Sacramento, and they put on Lilo and Stitch, and I was like sad, like all like this, falling asleep, and then boom, the little TV in front of me comes on. This is back when it was like kind of new. Mm-hmm. It was new to have like a TV right there. And then boom, it was Lilo and Stitch. So I'm watching it during my flight back. So that's my memory of Lilo and Stitch. So I actually like the original.
Yeah. Oh, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've seen clips of it.
Yeah. And then like the new remake that they're gonna do, the live action, I like it just because Stitch, he actually looks like, like himself and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I actually have pretty good hopes for this one. Hopefully it's good. But one that I did not have good hopes for was the new Snow White movie. Yeah. So that one's kind of been having issues ever since it was announced because of the main actress, the Snow White. She was actually talking bad about the movie. Yeah. So immediately I already knew I'm still not gonna watch it. Like I already knew I'm not gonna watch it. But
damn, that's bad when the main character's talking bad about the movie. That's like bad for media business. For business in general, because it's like you're speaking bad about something you got hired to do, and now you're discouraging people. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that one, I'm not really excited about it. And from the reviews that I've seen, it looks like it kind of sucked. It kind of sucked pretty bad. Yeah. Have you guys seen that one or heard about it or anything?
I heard about it, and that's the same thing. I heard about it because of TikTok.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen the original, but this one had a lot of bad rep because of the main Snow White actress.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's the same thing. I wouldn't want to watch it because of how she presented herself and the whole film.
Yeah, I don't think I never planned on watching that. I've never been big on Disney movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I've ever even watched the original, the cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they were always around, you know, like when my tia and them used to watch them and all that. Yeah. But I never was like, we were poor, so like the Disney movies we had was Lion King. And then we had Jumanji in Spanish.
Oh yeah,
but
Jumanji.
We had Good Burger. I never watched Good Burger.
It was the orange film.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I never liked it. I never watched it, but you know, we would always watch Jumanji in Spanish. That's one thing I remember. Like,
I remember that one too.
Yeah, we only had it in Spanish, so it's like watching Jumanji, the first one in English today, is weird.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so used to the Spanish version that it's just like, other than that, that's all the movies we had from Disney at the house. So, you know, but
and see, I wasn't lying. I got not into it, but with the chat, because I was like, we never grew up with that, and they're like, oh my goodness, here's my Disney Plus account, allegedly, because you gotta watch it and you gotta watch it. So I watched Snow White recently. I wasn't lying.
Yeah, we've been poor. You grew up poor as hell. So I don't think I'm gonna watch the Snow White movie.
Yeah.
But shout out to Snow White.
Yeah.
Shout out to Snow White.
And the seven
duendes.
Yeah. The 7 ways. Yeah.
Los cabrones.
Yeah.
Los enanos.
Me too. I don't plan on watching the new one, the remake. But I did watch the original one. I actually have it on Blu-ray when Blu-ray was like a thing. But I still saved it just because, you know, I like to collect shit.
Yeah.
But a movie that I did see recently is called La La Land. Have you guys ever seen that or heard that? Heard of that?
The movie?
Yeah, the movie La La Land. Oh, which is crazy because when Afiliado saw the list, let him know what you told us.
Yeah, like I literally came in and then I seen the topic list, and the first word I seen when I looked down was La La Land, and I literally just wrote a song called La La Land last night, and excuse me, I remember putting the name on my my songs together for my album, and I remember I was gonna write it, and I was like, how would you spell out La La Land? So I was like, is it capital capital L-A, and then space, capital L-A space, and then capital L, La La. And then I just put it down like that, and that's exactly how it was on the topics. Yeah. So that's why I was just like, it just caught my eye. I was like, bro, that's hella weird. Like, I just wrote a song called La La Land last night, and now we're speaking about a movie called La La Land.
Yeah, right here. I wrote it the way that he's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was just a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty tight.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah.
True.
The spirits were with you.
But I've never heard of the movie, though.
Yeah, what about you?
I love the actress Emma Stone.
Yeah.
All her movies are freaking great. My favorite movie of hers is Easy A. But this one I had planned to see.
I like Emma Stone.
Yeah.
From Superbad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's tight.
Yeah.
So right, she's so dope. I seen it and I wanted to watch it, but I never got to it. And then he brought it up, and because he watched it recently, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it today. But I just got busy and I didn't get to it. But yes, if it has Emma Stone in it, it has to be a great movie.
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's it about?
So the movie La La Land, it's about basically, without spoiler, guys, because I might say some things that might spoil it. I'm gonna try to not spoil it, but just in case, spoiler alert. It's about two people living in LA, just chasing the showbiz dream. So she's aspiring to be an actress, and the guy, he's aspiring to be a business owner. So they both living in LA, and then that's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's so good. It's a musical. I do not like musicals, but so here's how I ended up watching this musical, right? So I'm just scrolling on TikTok or IG. I think it was IG because I just recently reactivated my TikTok. And I see this meme and it says, when Scorpio's mad at you, this is how they're going to ignore you, right? So then it shows Emma Stone walking towards the guy. He's the guy from The Notebook. So then she's like, hey, I saw you playing the piano. Oh, shit. Yeah, see, just like that.
He's drunk.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did in the movie. No. So she's like, hey, I saw you playing the piano. And the dude hella ignores her, and he like bumps into her, and he like keeps walking. So as soon as I saw that scene, I was like, yeah, that's definitely Scorpio right there for sure. And fun fact, in real life, that guy, he's actually a real Scorpio. He's actually really a Scorpio. And I think Emma Stone might even be a Scorpio too. I gotta Google it real quick. And scene. So the guy.
And scene. This episode's over.
And scene. I had to cut. Yeah, you guys just missed the whole part about how I'm talking about how I'm the shit. But basically, the guy in the reel and the girl in the reel, Emma Stone, they're both Scorpios. So it shows she's showing the side of like Scorpio being affectionate because she's like, hey, I saw you playing the piano, blah. And then he's showing the side of Scorpio saying F this and F you, right? So he bumps into her and he walks out, and then she's like standing there like, what the F? So it was a small clip. So somebody made it into a reel, and they're like, this is how Scorpio will ignore you. So everybody in the comments is like, this is so fucking cool. What movie is this from? So, somebody's like, hey, this is from the movie La La Land. So that little small 2-second clip of two Scorpios made me want to go watch that whole movie. Mm-hmm. So the next day, I'm just on YouTube, just, chilling, looking for something to watch. And then I see La La Land for free on YouTube. So I go watch it. So that's how I ended up watching this musical.
Oh, it's an older movie?
Yeah. No, it's like in the 2000s. Like, yeah.
So I think it came out in 2016. Mm-hmm. But, like, people kind of still, it's still kind of relevant. Like, people still talk about it. So it's kind of new, kind of old, around there. But, so I go watch it, and it's really good, man. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's really, I do not watch musicals. Mm-mm. But it was so good that it made me sit through the whole dancing scenes and the scenes. And I related to it so much because we've been talking about moving to LA, like so it's just like so much I related to in the movie. But yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but definitely you guys should go check that movie out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching. Have you watched the new Daredevil show? Born Again?
Not the new one.
What, bro?
I saw the old one though.
So you've seen the old show on Netflix? Yeah. Bro, this new one.
What?
You have to watch it, bro. Like I forgot a lot of the stuff that happened in the old one. So, but once you watch the first episode of Born Again, it's just like it brings everything back, and he's just like it's a good ass, like cause it's a remake of the show, but it leaves off where the last show ended off in Netflix.
Yeah.
So I just think it's so dope how they're bringing him into the MCU.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've watched the Daredevil show before, apart from when it was in the MCU, when it was in Netflix, and it's two totally different companies, and never would I thought that you would see that Daredevil from what's his name. I never thought I'd see him, like in the MCU because, it's like a separate show. Yeah. So then once, you see him, Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock is the not the main, he's what his name is in the comics.
Yeah.
But, when I first seen him in not X-Men, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, okay, they're starting to bring him in. That's when it really was like hitting me. And then he came out on She-Hulk, the same thing, the same actor. So then once Born Again came out, I think it was so dope. And then they mentioned certain stuff, like they mentioned squirrels and all that inside Born Again. So it's just crazy how like now he's in the MCU, So if you're an MCU fan and all that, you gotta watch the Daredevil shows.
Yeah, I'm for sure check that out because I love the old show on Netflix. That was tight.
No, this one was dope, man. Dang. So I've been on that, and then the show 1923.
Oh, okay. What's that one about?
It's you ever seen Yellowstone?
No, I heard.
So there's a show called Yellowstone that's based on like property and like this is my land, and it's like with the whites and the natives right now how they're fighting. Yeah. I've never really gotten into Yellowstone, but they have 2 spin-offs from Yellowstone, which just kind of shows how Yellowstone came about. Yeah. And the first one's called 1983. And I'm very big on like old like history. I love history. I'm fascinated by it. So I'm very big on like shows that are like have to do with how times used to be back in the Western times and all that. So that shows how like the people from Yellowstone, how they started, and then it went to once that finished, then it went to another show called 1923, which is 20 years after 1883. Yeah, and it's also like showing how like now that they got the land and all that, and it just shows you how the times were back in the day, and like it just has you like, damn, bro, like people really were like this, and it shows how they were transitioning from horses to animals, and it's just like it's drama at that, so it's a pretty good show. I've been watching that and Daredevil, and then I just got into Abbott Elementary too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if y'all heard about it. It's a pretty good show. It's like a little sitcom, but that's what I'm watching right now.
Tight, I definitely got to catch up on all those, man. They sound pretty tight.
What y'all watching? What shows y'all on right now?
What about you? What shows are you watching?
Unfortunately, none. I know I suck.
No, you be busy.
But you know what? No, I do listen to a lot of podcasts, so but watching shows to sit down and watch them, I don't. But when I do, it's gonna be a podcast, and it would be the Fat Fish podcast.
Oh yeah.
But that's my thing right now.
Yeah, I like their podcast.
And it's like Ralph Barbosa has like these little vlogs of him like trying to learn how to drift and trying to do car stuff and like building new cars. I mean, rebuilding cars and stuff. So I watch. I'm not even into cars, but I'm into Ralph. So.
Oh my god.
Hey, but I'm gonna need you to chill because my girl's on this app. I don't need her know about all the other shit about Ralph Barbosa. But anyway.
But yeah, that's it.
No, that's tight. Yeah, no, I do their podcast. I love their podcast.
Yeah.
What show are you watching right now?
Me right now, oh man. So I restarted watching Diablero because that's one of my classics. If you guys watch the old episodes, I'm always talking about that show. It's on Netflix. But also, there's a movie I want to mention. Another movie, because I've been mentioning hella movies, that I always forget to mention on here. And it's called End of Days. It's a movie called End of Days. Came out in 1999 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the girl, I just had a memory of, I just had a flashback of Bobby Lee and Jaime.
Significant.
Yeah. But anyways, the movie is at, like the End of Days. It has the girl in the movie. She's the girl from The Craft. Mm-hmm. She's the main one. She's the one that moves. She's like the fourth witch, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, End of Days is a really good movie. If you guys are into like the spiritual stuff, I always keep forgetting to mention that movie. But that's a good movie that I recommend too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen End of Days, but when you mentioned that, for some reason I was thinking of this other movie, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the girl from Halloween. It's the girl from Halloween, and I think they're like on a plane, and there's a scene where they're like jumping off the plane and getting into a car.
Oh no, that's I think that was called like Eraser. Mm-hmm. The one on the plane.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that movie when you mentioned it. When you said Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was like, oh, that's that one movie, but nah, it's just a random thought that popped up in my head.
Yeah, no, but that one's pretty good.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Because that one's got hella action.
Mm-hmm.
But the one of End of Days is like, it's got hella action, but it also has like a spiritual, spooky side to it. I'm not going to say too much of it, but I'm going to just say that this guy's in it right here.
Nice.
But yeah. But any other movies you guys want to recommend?
I ain't really been watching movies. It's just shows. I've been watching a couple shows. I don't have a lot of time. Yeah. So it's like literally like once I get off work, I get home and then I got to run a couple errands. And then the only time I really get to watch TV is like at the end of the day after I roll my blunt up and watch TV and smoke. And then I'll watch it for like an hour at least. And then from there, I'll just go on about my business, either go to sleep or go work on music. It's just so much going on nowadays. But I haven't had time to watch. I think the last movie I watched was Brave New World, Captain America.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I still got to watch it.
It's pretty good. Like I watched it the second time, and the second time wasn't bootleg. So now I kind of got a better understanding of it. It's pretty good.
All right. Cool, man. All right. I think that's pretty much it for today. Like I say, we're going to be filming more episodes, in LA and wherever else we travel. So keep an eye out for that.
Oh, and can I give a shout out real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Shout out to Fat Dabby coming out of Stockton. I just met up with bruh. He pulled up over here in Sac from Stockton to bring me some merch, because I had just recently dropped a video of me rapping called... it was like a mic drop to one of my songs called Pun Flow. And I got a lot of attention for it. Like I really got a lot of follows. A lot of people were reaching out. So I got a little sponsorship out of it, this guy, from this company, he synced it. And he told me that he was just scrolling and then just seeing my post and was like, who's this big guy rapping like this crazy? And from there he followed me and then he messaged me. He was like, right as soon as that video had dropped, he had messaged me right away and was like, hey bro, he's like, I love how you rap, your style, this and that. He's like, do you mind, if I give you some merch, if you can rock my hoodie in your next mic drop? So I'm like, okay, I was like, damn, that's like a little sponsorship off just my rapping. Yeah. So I told him, I was like, yeah, let's link up. So he could have easily sent it to me. Yeah. But, if you're really trying to take your business seriously, bro, like I recommend you meet in person. It creates a more of a stable relationship, and it's like, it's way better than talking to someone digitally, so you get to see you can feel their aura, their vibe, all that in person. And it's more nerve-wracking because I didn't even know the guy. I didn't know what he looked like. He was supposed to pull up with some people, so I'm over here like, damn, I'm a little nervous, like I don't know, they coming to my city, I don't know what's going on, but they're giving me merch. So I was like, you know what, like this is part of the business, you got to meet people and all that. So he could have easily, he gave me the option, is I can send it to you, bro. And I said, you know what, if you come out to Sec, bro, like we link up and we'll talk in person. He came out here. He brought me the hoodie. I was supposed to bring the hoodie and all that today with me. I forgot. I'll bring it next episode though. He gave me a rolling tray. Okay. So the rolling tray is clean. It has a Fat Dabby on there. And then that's when I met him, he said his name's Dabby. So that's what I know him by. And then the hoodie's clean, and it's not even no regular like no press on clothes and none of that. Like his stuff's like stitch, like the where it says his name, it's like rubbery. Like it's like his stuff is very professional. He puts a lot of money into his clothing brand. And I just thought it was dope that he wants me to wear his stuff and I get free, merchandise out of it. So yeah, he brought all that stuff. We smoked, chopped it up. He's like, I'm from Stockton, this and that. And he was like, I seen you guys on the podcast. So, he's a business owner and he's on his stuff. So he was just like, he was inquiring. He was like, hey bro, he's like, y'all, if y'all ever taking any guests, he's like, I can speak about how my business started and this and that. So I was like, yeah, I'll holler at my brother because that's what he said. He's like, I see you're part of a podcast. And I was like, it's my brother's podcast. And my brother is into supporting businesses. We talk a lot. We talk about a lot of that on the, on here, about like business advice and stuff you can do, So I told him, I was like, I'm gonna holler at brother about it, and but big shout outs to him, man. He really came all the way out here from Stockton, and he was showing love. He's like, we were listening to your music up here, and I'm like, bro, like, that's a good feeling, like just for me rapping. I get a little sponsorship and I get some free merch, and then and then plus he's showing my music to his cousins, all this and that. So man, shout out Fat Dabby LLC. Yeah, and plan on working with you in the future. And we gonna have to work something out. You gonna have to get some merch for the for the family.
For sure.
We're gonna have to lock that in, man. But we'll lock in the future for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, we gotta set something up. Come through and
he's cool people's too. Like even when he messaged me, he's like, hey bro, he's like, you seem like a real solid dude. He's like solid vibes. He's like, it's hard to come around that, because nowadays you meet someone like, you sometimes they'll be like, oh damn, like this was a weirdo. Like you never know. And at the end of the day, it can be the nervousness, people being nervous. But even he was like, hey bro, he's like, you seem like a solid dude. I appreciate you, being, hella cool. Because it's hard, like I could have been a weirdo to be like, what's up, homie? Like hella, active and everything. And then, but it's a business meeting. So I was just like, there's certain ways to come about it. And, for him to say that, and it's likewise too, like he was very professional. He was, like it was no weird vibes or nothing like that. So that's why I was like, bro, like let's link up again. Anytime you out of SAC, hit me up, you feel me? And we'll definitely clock in.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, for sure.
Shout out Fat Dabby.
Yeah, shout out, man. Shout out. Yeah, definitely, we definitely want to hear a story. I'm sure it's going to motivate a lot of our viewers. For sure. Mm-hmm. We got to set something up. Cool. What about you? Any shout outs you got? Any last few words before we log off?
Shout out my babies. Shout out Sally, Evie. That's it.
Yes. Shout out
shout out the nieces.
Yeah. They're always watching.
We love them. We love y'all.
Yes. Clean the room. I'm just kidding.
Clean the room.
I'm just kidding.
Sac Got Tres dropping in early April.
Hey.
So be on the lookout for that mixtape. We dropping in the summer, and then that's pretty much it. I just been working on music, doing this, and then trying to survive. Shout out Bella, my kid. She over there wilding with my nieces right now too.
Clean the room too. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, she need to clean the room as soon as we get to the house.
Yeah, shout out Bella and shout out my two nieces. I definitely got some kids that want y'all to beat up for me. So for sure. For sure.
Bella got you. Bella a little wild. Bella will be the first one to swing. So I'll be telling her like, bro, calm down. Yeah, bro,
for my babies, yeah.
She be ready to crash out.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna need y'all to beat up some kids for me. But all right, man.
Shit, I'll beat up some kids for you. What's up? Just throw me a little song. You feel me? Like, come here, little punk ass kids. No.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, but thank you guys for checking us out, man. Yes. We love you guys. This was episode 29.
29.
So next episode is 30. Damn, 30. We almost there. All right, we love you guys, man.
Just 70 more away from 100.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 70 more from
Hey, we've been consistent though. Like every weekend.
Hell yeah.
So thanks for y'all for watching.
So pretty soon the live show's coming up. Oh shit, we gotta have a live show for Saca las Velitas.
Yeah.
Damn, with our own audience and all that.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
And it's all thanks to you guys that be watching this, that be subscribing, commenting, liking, everything.
And we're going to have to shoot an episode at the quinceañera, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm down. We got to vlog it and shoot an episode.
Yeah.
Tight.
For sure. All right, guys. Have a good night. Saca las Velitas.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.